Hey boys and girls, Mr. Fraser here, Miss Galloway behind the camera. So we are kind of continuing what we've been doing the last few weeks on our field trips. We've been going on different hikes and checking out sort of some different wildlife. We went to the farm the other day. Today we are somewhere called the Ed Chardulo Garden Center. And this is an awesome garden center up on Upper James, just past Rymel Road. If you can see, boys and girls, there's lots of different shrubs here. We're going to be checking out some trees today, all kinds of different plants, some different grass kind of plants, and we're going to talk to Carol, the expert, very soon as well. So you can follow us around. We're going to show you some things. We're going to ask you some different questions. And throughout the video, you can pause it maybe when Mr. Fraser asks you a question and answer it in any way that you can. You can always just talk into a voice recorder or post a video to the hub. You can draw a picture or try to do some writing, have mom and dad scribe for you. But yeah, enjoy our day at Chardulo Garden Center and make sure you take note of your favorite thing here because there's tons of different plant life. And we're going to show you as much of it as we can. So boys and girls, we see so many different kinds of things at the garden center here. And as we're walking around, take note of anything you've seen before. Maybe some things that have been in your garden. Anything that's recognizable to you. This time of year, boys and girls, it looks a little bit different at the garden center than it so often does in the springtime, and I think we're going to come back here in the springtime to see how it looks different. You might see more flowers and more vegetable plants. So think about what you're seeing today and why, during this time of the year, these would be the plants that are, I guess we could say, left here from the summer. These are the ones that have kind of survived or not been put away yet. So you may not know what all of these are, but you will very soon.
Look. This feels just like a Christmas tree. But it's not shaped like a Christmas tree. But if you feel it and you come and touch it, it's exactly like a Christmas tree, but not really. Look, Christmas trees are not, these are round. Christmas trees are not round.
They're round and they're very, very small.
It smells like a Christmas tree. No, it doesn't smell like a Christmas tree.
So that's a question, boys and girls. What do you think these little bushes are? And do you think they're going to grow into Christmas trees, or are they supposed to be something different? Miss Galloway said that they feel like Christmas trees, but they don't smell like Christmas trees.
Smell like Christmas trees.
And they're certainly not big and tall like Christmas trees, although they may grow.
Yeah, Christmas trees are more like triangles, right? And these are circles.
Hey boys and girls, so we're just looking at a couple plants here. We're going to compare and contrast. So that means we're going to look at them both and see what's the same and different. So we've got one plant here, and it's green obviously, and I'm touching it, and it feels a little bit rough, but it's not sharp or prickly or anything like that. And this is called, this is a little giant arborvitae.
See, reading is hard even for teachers.
Yes, we're going to get the answer from the expert in a second. And then we have a second plant here, Concord barberry. And the thing is, boys and girls, when I touch this, I can't touch it too much because it's prickly. It's a little bit on the vine. There are some sharp things. So I'm wondering, what is different about this plant, the green one, the little giant, and this one here, the barberry? So we're actually going to ask, because I don't know the answer, but we have someone here who does know the answer. This is Carol from Chardulo Garden Center.
Correct.
Carol, thank you so much for taking time today. If you could tell us about these two plants and why they're different, we would really appreciate it.
Okay, so these are completely two different types altogether. It's kind kind of like tomatoes and apples. They're so different. So this here is a little giant. It's the cedar family, and this is soft and it keeps its roundness. So it's a completely different type than this. This is a barberry, and it's very similar to a rose bush. It has little thorns on it, and you can't touch them because it can go right through your finger, and that would absolutely hurt. So I wouldn't even try it. So whenever you see plants or trees or shrubs, don't just go up and touch them. Always ask an adult first. Is it child friendly? Is it pet friendly? Is it adult friendly? Then this way you know, and you won't get hurt on a plant. Even though they're so beautiful to look at, plants can be a little bit dangerous sometimes if you want to fool around with them. So that's the difference. These you can shape, and you can shape these. They're both beautiful, but they're completely different. Just like apples and oranges.
And Carol, I was just wondering, is there a reason why a plant would have the thorns on it like that?
Some of them grow naturally that way, like roses grow naturally with thorns. You can buy some of them that are thornless, but when they grow them that way, there's some type of propagated through the processing, because roses naturally will grow thorns. And sometimes in certain parts, they grow a wild rose, again with thorns. These here they come from different roots. They're completely different. It's like a fruit tree and a tree that makes beautiful flowers. Totally different species.
And that's really neat. I'm thinking we were just speaking to a student today who said that he was in our class and his brother was in grade 5 and they were having totally different experiences. I kind of think of that. 2 different plants. Both plants, but both very, very different for different reasons.
And they even grow differently. They take different types of weather. Some like more sun, some like more shade, some like both. Some you can look at for beauty, some you can grow for fruit or vegetables. Like, comes in all different reasons why certain things come.
That's awesome information. Thank you so much, Carol.
Okay.
Boys and girls, so we are seeing a bird bathing in the water. You never know what you're gonna see when you're at the garden center.
So boys and girls, we're looking at what look like small Christmas trees. So we saw the small shrub kind of like Christmas trees earlier. Now we're taking a look at these ones. And what's really cool about this one here, I'll come up to this one, it's called a Colorado spruce. So we see it's about maybe halfway up to me, so it's probably about 3 feet here. But what Carol was just telling us is that eventually, if this was planted in the ground, it would turn into something like these giant trees behind me. So we can see those there. So something like this could turn into something like that. And something that's important to note is what Carol was telling us is that these trees, you would need to plant them in a space with lots and lots of room. So that's a question for you boys and girls. Why would it be important to plant a tree this size that would one day turn into a tree that size? Why is it important that that would be planted somewhere where it would have lots of space to grow, both outside of the ground, but under the ground too? So think about that, boys and girls, and let us know. Okay, boys and girls, so we're just going to talk with Carol about this snake plant. So Carol, please tell us about this beautiful, beautiful plant.
Hi again. Okay, so this is a snake plant. This is basically an indoor plant, so it cannot survive in the cold weather, the winter months. You can put it out in the summer when it's nice and warm, but then once it gets cold, you have to bring it in. The difference with this plant, a lot of house plants the soil needs to stay moist in order for them to survive. This one, it likes to stay on the dry side. So you give it a drink of water, and then you let it completely dry out. So the soil, I don't know if you can see it, see how dry it is? That's how it likes to be, dry like that. And the nice thing about this is all the neat little markings on it, and that's what that is a snake plant. This actually, from Nassau. Nassau is where you see the when they send the ships up in, not ships, sorry guys.
Rockets.
Yeah,
Rockets,
ships,
I
yeah.
was stuck.
Yeah.
So see, even adults sometimes get stuck.
Right?
So when they send the rockets up, that's, Nassau kind of controls it all. They did research and they found that this plant in your home will take out all the bad toxins in your home, like all the bad
Oh.
stuff that can make you sick. This helps clean the air, but it only works at night. It starts to
Wow.
clean everything up, so you have a nice fresh house.
Cool.
So these are really, really cool. And the nice thing about these two is it's so thin, kind of like paper. Paper thin, and it's a beautiful, beautiful plant to look at.
Looks like a snake too.
It does look like a snake, but it won't bite like a snake, so it's cute to look at.
And this pattern on it actually reminds me of a fruit. Has anyone ever mentioned the skin of
No.
a certain fruit? Miss Galloway, does this remind you of a certain fruit?
Let me see.
The fruit is usually sort of roundish.
Avocado?
Watermelon.
Oh.
Doesn't this kind of look like watermelon
Oh,
skin?
yeah.
Yeah. So boys and girls, this is a spider plant. Carol, thank you so much. And I guess we recommend these if the air in your home needs to be purified.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
could do with
A lot of homes do.
I think so
Sure.
too. I only see one of these. I might snatch this one up.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol.
Okay. So this is a snake plant also, but it's a different variety.
That's so
Yeah. It's like tomatoes. You can get little cherry tomatoes,
Yeah.
big tomatoes, long tomatoes, right? They're all the tomato family.
Yes.
This is a snake plant too.
That's
But, and again, this is like really hard out there. Like it's really hard.
Yes. Is it all just like, is there anything
So-
in there? Because I know,
Yeah, so what's in there is, it holds, it retains its water and turns to keep it alive.
okay.
So if you overwater it, you're drowning it. So it has enough water in there until the next season.
Okay. And the water's right in.
Well, the water, I'm not sure the right term for it,
Okay.
but it holds, like a succulent, they hold their water
Yes. Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
here.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
boys and girls, we've got two different kinds of the snake plants. You let us know which one you prefer. There is this one here, and then the smaller one. So we've got a couple different types. Which snake plant would you like in your house, boys and girls? Maybe draw a picture of the one that you like the best.
Yeah.
Or don't forget the first one that looked like the
I know.
watermelon.
That's right. Yeah. And there's
Mr.
even one here,
Fraser's
so I'm gonna bring the
take that
first one around too.
home.
Look at that. We've got three different kinds, and we see small, medium, large,
Small, medium.
large.
Ma.
So boys and girls, we're in the greenhouse checking out aloe plants. Some of you might know what an aloe plant is. So inside of here, if you cut it open, you would find aloe. And we'll ask you quickly if you know what aloe is and if you've ever used it for anything. So you can pause the video here and maybe think about that. Give us a response on the hub in your portfolio. And now that we're back, I'll let you know that what's inside here is aloe gel. And you might put it on burns or cuts, or I know I've even used it before on sunburns. So it's cooling. It makes you feel cool and better if you're hurt.
Some people eat it too.
And some people eat it.
Yeah.
Girls, we're just checking out succulents. And if you remember from Mr. Fraser's About Me video, I had some succulents actually from Chardulo's Garden Center. But Carol has just pointed out to us something very cool. So let me show you this one first. So we see one beautiful succulent. One beautiful succulent here. But Carol has pointed out that when she was transplanting some of the succulents from small pots to bigger pots, she found that one started growing a baby succulent.
Look it down the side.
That is so, so cool. So we've got the big succulent is the one that came in the pot, but the little one started growing off of its mama, I guess we could say.
That's so cute.
Yeah, super cool, super cute.